All right, hello YouTube. This is Danielle Hayden with the Hayden Group and Keller Williams Ann Arbor. I am so excited to speak to you today about what our team, the Hayden Group with Keller Williams Ann Arbor, does to maintain a really successful schedule as a team. What does my day look like? What does the day look like for my market specialist, my director of operations? What kind of tools, systems, and resources do we use to keep our day along? And how does it affect culture? All right, stick with me. We're going to go on a journey. All right, YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in today. You guys, if you love this kind of high level information on what it takes to be a real estate agent, to run a real estate team, and what it's like to be a part of Keller Williams, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, okay? Hit subscribe and toggle the bell for instant notification for more content just like this. All right, so let's dig in. We are going to talk about daily schedules, and just keep in mind that this is very much filmed and produced during coronavirus. A lot of what I'm going to be delivering to you today would be the lessons that we learned throughout coronavirus and how we transformed our team from being physical to being virtual at a really high level. And to be completely honest with you, there are some elements that we probably won't even go back on because we have just seen an intense increased production and focus, and our productivity is just sky high right now. So there's definitely some great stuff happening right now going virtual that we're going to take with us into the future. Okay, let's delve in. As we know from reading Shift by Gary Keller and from reading the MREA, when you are a real estate agent, there are some really key aspects to your job that you must do, and then everything else you leverage, okay? So just to do a little bit of review on what that is, first and foremost, we have lead generation, okay? Lead generation is the process by which you are having conversations, communicating with other people, and identifying new people, new business that raise their hand and say, yes, I'm interested in learning more about buying, selling, or investing in real estate in the near future, okay? So that's lead generation. You also have lead follow-up, which would be following up with those folks to move them throughout your pipeline from a lead to a contact, meaning someone you've connected with and gone back and forth with, and now you've got a relationship to nurture, to an appointment. We've set an appointment for them, and we're going to try to take them on as a client by having them sign off on legal paperwork to do so, okay? And then from appointment, they go to our active client, okay? So that's sort of the pipeline there. We've got lead generation and lead follow-up in order to drum up the opportunities to be in business with them. All right, and then we've got what happens when we're in business with them, right? Negotiating and contracts. So that's another element of being a real estate agent that falls onto your schedule and frankly, really can't come off. And we'll talk about that in some other videos, some variations of the team's organizational structure. But at a baseline, as a real estate agent, you're gonna be lead generating, lead following up, and you're gonna be doing contracts and negotiation. Okay. The other main thing you're going to be doing is going on appointments. Okay. So yes, we're setting these appointments, and yes, we have active clients, but that also takes time to actually go on the appointments. Now, the benefit of this virtual world is that it's much easier for us to pack our appointments in because guess what? I'm just here on the computer. I don't have to drive anywhere. So it's much easier this day and age to be ultra productive with that part of our schedule. And to be honest, it's been really nice. Normally I'm super tight on time because a lot of my day is driving in the car from one showing to another, or one listing appointment to another, or an inspection or a closing. So that gets really time consuming. And here in Michigan, during coronavirus, we were completely shut down. We couldn't even attend things like inspections or closings. We were prohibited from attending. But the reality is we learned how to get our clients through those things without us being there. And to be quite honest, I don't think we're going back because we didn't lose any quality. We just increased our efficiency. And so all work expands to fill the time allowed. And if the time is not allowed, guess what you realize? Maybe you've been wasting some time on doing these things. All right, so those are the basic jobs of a real estate agent, right? If we're going to take it to the next level and we're going to increase our conversion rates from lead generating and lead follow-up to actually getting the appointment, and from going on the appointment to actually signing the business, in order to increase those conversion rates, you need to do one thing, and this often gets forgotten, especially in other brokerages: script practice and role play. I know, some of you think scripts are a dirty word, but the reality is all a script is the measured study and practice of human psychology and how to communicate with other people in order to assist them in making a decision, okay? And sometimes that decision is gonna fall into favor with how you can help them, and that's our goal, right? To take away fear, to illuminate misconceptions, and to educate people on their way to being able to say yes, okay? Yes to financial freedom, yes to selling my home at a high price, yes to employing a real estate professional so that I get top dollar for my home in the least amount of time. All of these things come from script practice, okay, guys? So we're gonna talk to you a little bit about how our team does that at a high level, because frankly, I have never been great at script practice. Even when I had accountability partner, we always kind of just petered out at some time. So we stumbled upon a fantastic way to stay accountable with script practice. I can't wait to share it with you. Okay, so we've gone through lead generation, lead follow-up, contracts and negotiation, going on appointments, and script practice and role play. Okay, these are the 5 major things that you as a real estate agent must master to be at the top of your field. Okay, now we're going into a real estate shift due to coronavirus. So I encourage you to go ahead and pick up that book by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. Let's take a look here. And Dave Jenks, okay? We don't want to forget anybody here. So this book is called Shift, and this book outlines what to do in a shift of the real estate market, whether you're going from buyer to seller or seller to buyer market. Right now, we are in the beginning stages. We're in the beginning stages right now of what is a shift. And if you are not at the top of your game, if you are not focused on these very core elements of being a successful real estate agent, you may not survive. Okay, so we went into designing our schedule and getting really super focused on our activities with that in mind, that we needed to survive the shift. And then when we're back on that upswing and there's a lot of opportunity for us, then we're going to thrive. Okay, but right now is all about surviving. So one of the things you're going to hear in this book, Shift, it's going to talk about 2 major elements of what it takes to be successful. And frankly, it's not even just in the real estate industry. This could be applied as a person, period. But you've got 2 things you've got to focus on in order to survive and thrive. The first is going to be mindset. You have to have the proper mindset in order for your activities to even be effective or sustainable, okay? So we're gonna do our checkup from the neck up, okay? Especially right now during this crazy global pandemic, if you are a team leader or you're in a sales industry where you're relying on, keeping that morale up and that energy up and doing the activities, regardless of whatever results you're getting right now, continuing every day to go ahead and build that business up and build your pipeline up, you've got to have the right mindset, okay? Mindset is gonna be the first thing that sifts through the people who either make it or don't in this real estate shift. The next thing that you need to take a look at and really make sure you're in the right place is your activities, okay? Activities lead to results. And now more than ever, we have to focus ourselves on the right activities, okay? And notice what happens when you focus yourself. All this energy here that could be going straight at you, when you are wide like this, what happens to that energy? It's dispersed, it's everywhere, it's weaker, right? Because it's hitting all points at once. But when you focus your energy on activities that matter the most and they come out just in one major core way, all that energy is being funneled to one thing, okay? Yet another book, The One Thing, okay, by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. Awesome book. And so we've got our mindset, right? And we've got our activities. How do these play out in your daily schedule? Well, I'm really glad you asked. One of the things that I realized going into this pandemic, shifting from being in an office with my team to being at home with kids, setting up new virtual technologies that we had never used before, wondering what's going on in my real estate industry. One of the things that I noticed was my day could get away from me really, really quickly as a team leader. Okay, so whether you're an individual agent, which frankly is the hardest to do because you have to be the jack of all trades, or you're a team leader, or you're on a team and you're wondering how to, work with the team leader to maintain positive culture and productivity during this crazy time. The thing I want to make sure that you do is get really intentional with your schedule. Okay, my day got away from me really, really quickly. And frankly, I got drained really, really quickly. And I realized that the mindset piece was missing. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you to take a look at your schedule. See if there is any possible way for you to be more intentional first thing in the morning. All right, so let me give you an example. I used to sleep in until about 7:15, wake up, kids are already up, TV's already on, trying to make coffee, dog needs to go out, and at 8:30, I know I need to be on huddle, okay? I was behind the 8 ball the whole entire day. My mindset was suffering, my energy was suffering, my focus was suffering, and now is not the time when I could afford to lose my focus. So I made a change. I went ahead and I put it on my accountability sheet that I'd be in bed by 9 and I'd be asleep by 10, okay? And I started to wake up at 6. And I set alarms throughout the day, and my alarm would ring and it would say, wake up, make it a great day. You can do this. The world is yours. You decide, right? So I have a label literally that goes across my phone at 6 o'clock in the morning. And the whole point of that first half hour was really for me to just reflect, to put myself in the right energy and mood, to have my coffee and enjoy waking up by myself with no noise and no distraction, and just have a calm start to the morning, okay? From 6:30 to 7 o'clock, my alarm rings at 6:30 and it says right on the phone, review your schedule, get organized for the day, and make your list of your top 20% that you need to do that'll get you 80% of your results. Okay, so I went ahead and I looked at my entire schedule so that I knew what to expect that day. We've got a lot of meetings going on, and I was intentional. If something didn't reflect my passion, I figured out how to put some passion back into that part of my calendar, whether it was changing who I was going to call that day or what script I was going to use, or doing it outside and making sure I was prepared during that time block to move things outside and get some sunshine, making sure I had the 10 minutes to walk the dog between time blocks, making sure all that was in place at 6:30 in the morning. At 7 o'clock in the morning, I took the dog for a walk for a half hour, okay? And if I came home early, I'd hop on the elliptical for a little bit. And so I got my exercise in for the day. And at 7:30, my alarm goes off and it says, take a shower and get ready for huddle, okay? So 7:30 to 8:30, my focus is just to get myself ready for the day. I've already taken care of my mindset. I feel organized. I feel ready to go. And now I'm going to go ahead and just do what I need to do in my daily routine, the mundane things like brushing your teeth and getting yourself ready for work. At 8:30, my alarm goes off, actually at 8:28, and it says, huddle, stay accountable, and be focused, okay? And so I get onto Zoom at 8:30, and my team and I have a 15-minute huddle. We don't start late. If you show up late, we're starting without you, okay? And you got 15 minutes to get yourself huddled out for the day. I'll actually go ahead and display what our huddle form looks like, and I'll make a shorter video on that. Huddle is a really important moment for us to check in with one another personally and professionally, to identify our core values on an individual basis and rate where we are right there. And I'm going to hold my people accountable. If your core value is adventure and you're at a 4 out of 10, stop, look at your calendar, and you tell me what you're going to do to take care of your adventure level today. Because guess what? We live a life by design, not by default. And do what you always do, get what you always got, okay? We're going to make sure that you take action, very focused and the right action, and you put it on your schedule, because if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. And if my people are not in the right mindset and they're not living their life by design, I'm not going to be able to keep them. So we use our huddle to go ahead and do those things, make sure that we've got our mindset together on an individual basis and we're checking in with one another. We also make sure that our big rocks are identified and that anything that doesn't fall in that list of like our top 20% of things that give us 80% of the results, we leverage it out, okay? We've got college interns so that we can afford to go ahead and leverage it out. Everyone on the team does some piece of leverage, whether it's to a person or they build a system to make things easier for themselves. All right, so let's talk about the big one, script practice and role play. At 9 a.m., we go into script practice and role play. And I used to do this just with my market specialist, but it felt lackluster. We weren't challenging each other enough. We had to do research to find the scripts that we were going to use that week and stay accountable. And you know what, to be frank, we needed to leverage it out. So I stumbled upon this awesome group, and I think it's Craig Goodlife that started it, with cyberbackers, and it's a script practice and role play group. It's a bunch of agents from across the nation that get together at 9 o'clock Eastern every morning, Monday through Friday. And we do script practice and role play together. We're given an objection, we're given a formula, we're instructed on how we need to handle each objection, and we take off. And so Monday through Friday, we spend a good half hour not only doing the script practice ourselves, but watching the best of the best. And they get better every week that we're in this group. Everybody improves. So that element was just a huge boon to our team, frankly. And it's exactly what my market specialist needed, was to have a high level script practice and role play. All right, from there on at 9:30, we go into our lead generation. Now, normally we recommend 2 to 3 hours of lead generation a day, okay, and an hour of lead follow-up. However, during the shift, we need a total of 4 hours of lead generation. I have tweaked this model just a little bit. I actually front load my lead follow-up, and I'm building a fortress around my current business before I go out and seek new opportunities. I made that decision because I saw too many of our current hot, low-hanging fruit people that told us they wanted to buy or sell, too many of them within 10 days or 15 days of not being contacted by us, listed or went with another agent, bought from the listing agent. We were losing way too many deals in the lead follow-up. So we went ahead and switched it around, and we put lead follow-up first to make sure that we capitalize on the business we already know we could get, and then we go out and lead generate. But the deal here is know that what you used to do, you need to double it, okay, in terms of making sure you've got a finger on the pulse of the business opportunities that are out there. The other really crucial element to our schedule beyond this huge chunk of the morning where you've got your mindset, your team coming together, and then your activities is tracking. All right, so I'll go ahead and display here our Just Do It form, but we basically looked at what the team needed to bring in gross commission income this year, and we reverse engineered it to decide how many units that was at what purchase price. We broke it out from now to the remainder of the year so that we have a really super clear understanding of how many deals we need to close per week on the list side and the buy side, how many need to go under contract because there will be some fallout, how many of those under contracts need to be signed as active clients because of course there are some active clients you will sign that will not go under contract, and how many appointments we need to book in order to sign that many clients, right? So this is how it gets reverse engineered. And we have a metric for every person on our team for what they need to be hitting. Now I, as the rainmaker, I've got on my sheet that 80 dials a day need to happen. My market specialist needs to make 30 of those. However, I subscribe to the cumulative 80. And the reason why is because if my market specialist hits 20 instead of 30, guess what I need to now do? 60. Because at the end of the day, I'm the CEO of this business, and I need to either make a decision that I'm going to hit those 60 that remain so we stay on track, or I'm going to challenge my market specialist to increase her productivity, or I'm going to have to bring somebody else on so that we don't get off track for the year. So just to recap this and break it down for you all in a visual, you'll see that I have my 6 a.m. wake up, 6:30 a.m. I organize my day and I put the bold law of the day on the fridge so that I can introduce it to my kids. If I have time, I do read one chapter of the book that we are meant to be reading as a team that week. 7 a.m. I put my health, which is one of my individual core values, first and foremost. I take the dog on a walk, and with the remainder of that half hour, I hop on to the elliptical downstairs. From 7:30 to 8:30, I do what I would have done anyways, shower and get ready for the day, put my face on, and make sure the kids are set up for success, because I think people will grow into the conversations and schedules that you put around them. So I make sure my kids are set up for success there before our 8:30 huddle. I remind myself to stay focused and hold those around me accountable during that 15-minute portion of my day. There is a 15-minute break or overlap for huddle if we need it before 9 a.m. script practice and role play. Our lead generation starts at 9:30 to 11:30. I do have an 11:30 spot for 30 minutes to look at contracts, negotiate, review my email and my voicemail. And then at 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, I have my lead follow-up. You can change your lead follow-up and your lead generation time blocks. There is no rule that says you cannot do that. In a shift, I have chosen to switch them. In an expanding seller's market with no problems whatsoever, I probably would stick with lead generation first, okay? Getting that new deal before I follow up with the ones I've already somewhat have secured, okay? I then have a few meetings with the remainder of my team, whether it's a one-on-one, going over 411s and SMART goals. And again, at 2:30, I check my email, I check my voicemail, I get back to people. I do have a recorded voicemail greeting that basically states to everyone that although I am so happy that they called and they've chosen to leave me a message and make us an important part of their day, I do check my voicemail at 8:30, at 11:30, at 2:30, and again at 3:30, okay? And then I get back to them during those time blocks. The easiest way to get off schedule, folks, is to be always available to other people. Make sure that you have already set the expectation with your current clients, with your family and friends, that there are certain points throughout the day that you can answer your phone and get back to them. Everyone else who has a 9 to 5, they only answer their phone on their lunch break or outside of work. So there is no reason for you to feel like you need to be at everyone's beck and call. Okay? Set those expectations. Make sure that they know that within reason, you will get back to them at certain points throughout the day. They will feel safe and secure as long as they know what to expect from you. So I hope that all makes sense to you. There is a lot of information in here, so you may need to watch this a few times, but you know what? Go ahead and put your comments down below. Ask us questions. I want to know where you are. What role are you in real estate? Are you with Keller Williams or are you with a different brokerage? And then I want to know what questions you have about all this information we went over about our daily schedule and how we went from physical to virtual. Just so y'all know, we are using Zoom for most of our virtual meetings. It's working out really well for us. There is a 40-minute time limit to the free version of Zoom, which has actually worked out rather nice because frankly, we don't need to be spending more than 40 minutes on any one meeting, okay? Including like listing appointments. We don't have any drive time. 40 minutes of dedicated time should help you get more efficient with your presentation and your script. So we haven't had any reason yet to subscribe to more than the free version of Zoom. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I know it was a ton of information, so don't be afraid to reach out. Let us know what questions you have. Watch it a few times, and you know what? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Toggle the bell for instant notification for more high-level real estate education and information just like this. Thanks so much, YouTube. We hope you have a wonderful day. Everyone stay safe and healthy and get back to work real estate. So excited to be finally with you here in Michigan.